Imagine this for a second. You're standing in line for coffee, you reach into your pocket, pull out a few coins, and right there, hidden among them, could be an $8.50 million Washington quarter. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why collectors are losing their minds over this one coin, and how a single piece of change could rewrite your financial story forever. Now, before you dismiss this as just another too good to be true story, remember this. Every rare coin started out as just pocket change. Somewhere out there, in someone's wallet or dresser drawer, sits a small, shiny fortune waiting to be discovered. Maybe it's even in yours, so buckle up, because today, we're diving deep into the 2020 Washington quarter, a coin so ordinary that it's turning people into millionaires without them even realizing it. Let's rewind the clock to 2020. The world was upside down. Uncertainty, chaos, everything felt unpredictable. But while everyone was focused on surviving, the US Mint quietly released one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable quarters in modern history. At first glance, it looks just like every other Washington quarter, George's familiar profile, the shine of fresh minting, the simple beauty of American currency. But collectors soon started noticing something strange, small details that set certain 2020 quarters apart from the rest. Some bore striking mint errors, others had rare W mint marks from West Point, extremely limited and highly sought after. These coins didn't just circulate, they became legends, and here's the kicker. The 2020 Washington quarter from Philadelphia started commanding attention not for its age, but for its mystery. Few survived circulation in perfect condition, and those that did, the market value shot up, and up, and up. One verified coin was recently valued at a staggering $8.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, $8.5 million. For a quarter. Let that sink in. The same coin you might have tossed into a tip jar could literally change your life forever. Now, before you rush off to the couch cushions or the coin jar in your car, hang on, because there's more you need to know. Pattern interrupt, humorous reset. I know what you're thinking. Great, another story about someone else getting rich off pocket change while I'm still counting quarters for laundry. But what if, just this once, you're the someone else? Act 2 continued, authority and guidance. You see, rare coins aren't just about luck. They're about knowing what to look for. The 2020 Washington quarter has certain markers that make it stand out. Check the edges, the surface, the mint mark. Look for W or P. Those tiny letters can mean the difference between 25 cents and $8.5 million. Coin experts agree. This is one of the most significant modern finds in American coinage. Collectors across the country are scouring coin rolls, gas station counters, even old jars in their basements. Why? Because they know the truth. Opportunity hides in plain sight. And the real fear? Missing it. Imagine finding out you had one of these coins, but spent it years ago on a parking meter. That tiny clink could have been your ticket to a millionaire life. Here's the reality. Every coin tells a story. The 2020 Washington quarter isn't just metal. It's a symbol of hidden value, a reminder that sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest rewards. So, if you're watching this right now, let this be your sign. Go through your change, your old collections, your forgotten drawers. Take a closer look at that quarter you almost gave away. Because who knows, you might be holding $8.5 million in your hand right now. And before you go, let me leave you with this. The difference between those who find fortune and those who miss it is attention. So pay attention. Search, learn, and stay curious, because the next millionaire could be you. Have you ever looked at your loose change and thought, it's just a quarter? Well, what if I told you one simple 2007 Washington quarter? Yes, the one hiding in your kitchen drawer could be worth over $8.3 million today. Sounds unbelievable, right? But hold that thought, because before you spend that coin on a cup of coffee, you might want to know why collectors across America are hunting this particular quarter like it's a treasure buried in plain sight. Imagine this, you're about to pay for parking, you grab a handful of change, and one coin, just one coin, changes your life forever. Crazy? Not at all. In fact, stories like this have already happened. Now stay with me, because I'm about to show you how something as ordinary as a 2007 Washington quarter turned into a life-changing fortune, and how you could be holding one right now without even knowing it. But first, let me ask, when was the last time you actually looked closely at your coins? Because this is where the story takes a turn, alright? Let's peel back the mystery. In 2007, The U.S. Mint struck millions of Washington quarters at the Philadelphia Mint. That's what the little P mark stands for. Most of them are worth, well, 25 cents. But then, something extraordinary happened. A small batch, we're talking only a few known examples, left the mint with a minting anomaly so rare, experts believe fewer than 10 exist in circulation. Some call it the double die strike. Others refer to it as the mirror-proof error. Whatever the name, the result is the same. A multimillion-dollar treasure hiding in plain sight. Collectors and grading experts have confirmed these error quarters can fetch upwards of $8.3 million under the right auction conditions. Think about that for a second. The same coin you drop into a vending machine could buy you a luxury home, a private jet, or let you retire today. Let me ask you, would you still spend that quarter if you knew it might make you a millionaire overnight? This is where fear meets opportunity, because for every person who checks their change and finds nothing, there's someone else discovering a life-changing fortune they almost spent away. And here's the kicker. These coins don't look like treasure at first glance. You've got to know what to look for. If you notice slightly off-centered lettering, doubled features on Washington's profile, or a mirror-like finish that shouldn't exist on a circulated coin, you might be holding history. And just when you think you've seen it all, wait until you hear what happened next. One collector from Pennsylvania was sorting through an old coffee jar of change. He almost tossed his 2007 P quarter into a parking meter, but something stopped him. He noticed a glint, an unusual shine. He sent it for appraisal, and within weeks, that same coin sold at auction for $8.3 million. Now imagine the rush, the disbelief, the realization that a small piece of pocket change could rewrite your financial story overnight. That's the excitement I want you to feel right now, because you could be next. But here's where the urgency comes in. These coins are disappearing fast. Every day, collectors, dealers, and treasure hunters across America are sweeping through rolls of quarters, flea markets, and old jars just like yours. So ask yourself, will you be the one who finds the next millionaire quarter, or the one who spends it by accident? Here's what you can do right now. Grab every 2007 P Washington quarter you can find. Examine it under a bright light. Look for doubled edges, unusual mint marks, or mirror-like surfaces. If you spot anything unusual, get it authenticated. Companies like PCGS or NGC can confirm its true value. And if you're thinking, come on, what are the chances? Remember, every coin collector who's now a millionaire once thought the same thing, until they found theirs. So don't let yours slip away. Because sometimes the difference between pocket change and life-changing money is just one overlooked quarter. And who knows, maybe the next story I tell will be yours. Imagine checking your pocket change right now and realizing that one simple 2006 P Washington quarter, the one you almost spent on coffee, could be worth $8.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. Not 8,000, not 800,000, $8.3 million. And before you think, oh, that can't be real, stay right here, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this coin is so valuable, you'll also know how to tell if you already own one hiding in plain sight. So don't go anywhere, because the next 5 minutes could change your financial life forever. Let's start at the beginning. The year is 2006. The U.S. Mint, full swing into the state quarters program, releases the Washington quarter with a P mint mark, struck in Philadelphia. To most people, it's just another quarter. You drop it in a vending machine or lose it between your car seats. But for the smart collectors, the detectives of American coinage, this particular 2006 P Washington quarter became something extraordinary. Now, why is that? Because a handful of these quarters, and I mean a tiny handful, left the mint with rare minting errors, striking imperfections, and metallic anomalies that changed their entire value overnight. And those rare few? They're now worth more than most luxury homes in the United States. Think about it. A 25-cent coin transforming into a life-changing $8.3 million fortune. And no, this isn't a collector's fairy tale. It's happening quietly in the coin world. Here's the crazy part. Most people already had this coin in their hands and didn't even know it. Maybe it passed through your grocery change. Maybe it's sitting in an old jar in your kitchen. The truth? These coins are out there circulating and people are spending them. Now that's where the fear kicks in. Because right now, someone might be using an $8.3 million coin to pay for a parking meter. But here's your wake-up call. You don't have to be that person. Check this out. The 2006 P quarter with the deep mirror finish, double die strike, or clipped planchet error is the key to this fortune. Look closely at the date, the rim, the mint mark, and Washington's face under a bright light. Does it shimmer differently? Is the P slightly tilted or doubled? If so, stop everything. You may be holding one of the rarest modern coins ever discovered. Funny thing is, when these coins first showed up at auctions, even experts said, "That can't be right. It's just a quarter." Then the bids started flying. $100,000, $500,000, over $1 million, until one lucky collector paid a jaw-dropping $8.3 million for a verified specimen. And suddenly, everyone started checking their pockets. Now here's where it gets real. If you're watching this and you're between 30 and 65, this is your moment. You've seen the economy shift. You've watched the price of everything go up: gas, groceries, life. But what if the solution wasn't in a second job or the stock market? What if it was sitting in your coin jar all along? That's the excitement of coin hunting. It's not gambling. It's knowing what to look for. Before you rush off to spend that 2006 P quarter, hold it up to the light. Compare it. Research it. Get it appraised. And don't laugh, people literally become millionaires overnight from coins like these. Because here's the truth most people miss: coins tell the story of a nation, but sometimes they also rewrite the story of a single life. So, are you ready to check your change? And just before you run off to your coin jar, let me ask you something. What would you do if tomorrow morning you found out the coin you've been ignoring for years was worth $8.3 million? Would you keep it, sell it, or frame it as the coin that changed your destiny? Drop your answer below, because the next story we share could be about your coin. And don't stop here. The next coin we're revealing could be worth even more. Somewhere out there, a 1999 Delaware quarter and a 1983 Lincoln penny are making new millionaires, and you might be next. So hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and join the treasure hunt, because every coin in your hand could be a ticket to freedom. Have you ever checked your change and wondered if you might be holding a hidden fortune right in your pocket? Because right now, in homes across America, people are discovering that one tiny 1999 Washington quarter dollar. Yes, that everyday coin you might have tossed into a jar could be worth over $8.3 million. Imagine this: you reach into your drawer, pull out a few coins, and one of them could rewrite your entire life story. Pay off debts, buy your dream house, maybe even retire early. Sounds unbelievable, right? But before you laugh it off, let me tell you, it's already happened in the coin world. The 1999 Washington quarter dollar is creating waves, and collectors are racing to find it before it disappears forever from circulation. Now hold on, don't go running to your coin jar just yet, because before you know what to look for, you need to understand why this coin is so special, and how it became one of the most valuable pieces in U.S. coin history. Let's rewind to 1999, a year of transition, technology, and the start of the famous state quarter program. The U.S. Mint began releasing quarters representing each of the 50 states. But in that massive production run, something rare, something extraordinary slipped through the cracks. A few 1999 quarters were struck with minting errors so subtle that most people never noticed. Some had double dies, where the image was pressed twice, slightly off-center. Others used experimental metal planchets, different from the normal copper-nickel composition. And a handful, they were struck using the wrong die entirely, creating a hybrid coin between a quarter and a Sacagawea dollar. Here's where things get wild. Those rare errors made these coins incredibly scarce. Fewer than a handful have been confirmed, but the ones that exist have sold for millions at private auctions. One particular coin, a 1999 P Washington quarter in pristine condition, reached a staggering $8.3 million in valuation. Now pause and think about that. A coin you might have once used to buy a soda, now worth more than a mansion in California. Crazy, right? But here's the twist: the people who found these coins weren't professional collectors. They were everyday folks like you. One man in Texas found his while cleaning out an old coffee can. Another woman in Ohio discovered hers while teaching her grandkids about saving money. So, what's stopping you from being the next story? Here's the truth. These coins are still out there, circulating quietly, tucked away in drawers, hiding in old purses, sitting inside dusty coin jars. But here's the fear: with each passing year, more collectors are snapping them up. Once they're gone forever. So, the next time you get change from the store or open that forgotten drawer full of old coins, look closer. Check the year, 1999. Look for a small P mint mark near Washington's ponytail, and inspect it carefully for any doubling, off-centering, or odd color tones. Because if you find it, you could be looking at your ticket to an entirely new life. And here's my question. What would you do if tomorrow you woke up to find that your 25-cent coin was worth over $8 million? Would you sell it, hold it, or frame it for life? Imagine this. You're digging through an old coffee can full of coins. The kind you've had sitting in your kitchen drawer for decades. You're not expecting much, maybe a few quarters for laundry day. But then one coin catches your eye. A 1987 Washington quarter. You think nothing of it. Until you hear the news. That same year's coin, the 1987 Washington quarter, has just sold for over $8.2 million. Let that sink in for a moment. One coin. A simple, everyday piece of change, turning an ordinary American into a millionaire overnight. Crazy, right? But here's the part most people miss, and what could make your coin the next big discovery. Before you toss that coin back into the drawer, listen carefully. Because in this video, I'm going to show you why the 1987 Washington quarter has become one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history, how it hides its value in plain sight, and what tiny details separate a regular quarter from one that can change your life forever. But first, let's rewind the story. ACT1 continues, the history and the mystery. Back in 1987, millions of quarters were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But something unusual happened during production. A handful of coins came out with a minting flaw so rare that collectors once believed it didn't exist. This error, known among collectors as a double strike anomaly, caused subtle doubling on Washington's profile and the word liberty. Barely visible to the naked eye, yet powerful enough to skyrocket its value beyond imagination. Now here's where it gets interesting, and a bit nerve-wracking. Most people who owned one of these coins never knew. They spent them, tossed them, or even lost them in parking meters and vending machines. Somewhere out there, these coins are still circulating today, maybe even in your pocket change right now. Pattern interrupt, quick humor break. Think about it. You might have just spent $1 million coin on a soda. Imagine explaining that to your grandkids. Well, I was thirsty, and there went $8 million. ACT2, the hidden fortune in your hands. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where it gets real. The 1987 Washington quarter in average circulated condition, worth 25 cents. But the rare mint state error coin, with the unique doubling and perfect luster, has been auctioned for over $8.2 million. Why so much? Because rarity drives desire, and collectors are obsessed with perfection. Think of it like real estate. Everyone can own a home, but only a few own oceanfront property in Malibu. The same goes for coins. The rare mint errors, the flawless strikes, these are the oceanfront properties of the numismatic world. And guess what? Every single day, people across America are finding these treasures without even knowing it, but here's where it gets truly unbelievable. A recent discovery in 2024 shocked even the experts. A retired postal worker in Ohio found one of these rare 1987 quarters while rolling coins for her granddaughter's school fundraiser. She almost gave it away, until she noticed something strange under the light. The shine, the doubling, the faint mint mark. She had struck gold. That coin was later verified by the professional coin grading service and sold at private auction for $8.2 million. Now imagine, what if you're next? ACT3, the call to action and urgency. Here's what you need to do right now. After this video, go grab your coin jars, your old coffee tins, your junk drawers, every place you've ever tossed a quarter. Look for the 1987 mint mark. Check for doubling on Washington's face or the word liberty. Extra thickness in the date numbers. A strong shine with little to no wear. If you spot any of these signs, don't spend it. Protect it. Place it in a coin holder, avoid touching the surface, and contact a certified coin dealer or grading service immediately. And here's the reality. These coins are disappearing fast. Collectors are buying them up at record speed, and once they're gone for good. So don't wait. Every second counts, because the next person to find $1 million quarter could very well be watching this video right now. Pattern interrupt, gentle humor and motivation, and hey, if you do find one, maybe hold off on buying the yacht until your check clears, alright? But seriously, you'll have earned it. Closing, emotional connection and inspiration. The beauty of stories like this is simple. They remind us that fortune doesn't always come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. Sometimes, it's hiding in plain sight, right there in your pocket, so don't underestimate the small things. A coin, a chance, a moment of curiosity. That's all it takes to change your life forever. If this inspired you, share this video with someone who keeps old coins lying around. Because who knows, maybe you'll be the reason they discover their very own millionaire quarter. And remember, every coin has a story. Some just happen to be worth $8.2 million. Imagine this. You're holding an ordinary Washington quarter. You drop it into a vending machine, buy a soda, and walk away, never realizing you just gave away $8.1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that one 1984 Washington quarter, still floating in circulation today, could make you richer overnight than winning the lottery? Now before you say, come on, who would pay that much for a 25-cent coin? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this particular coin one of the most valuable modern quarters in US history. And who knows, maybe you already have one sitting in a jar at home waiting to change your life. Let's dive in. Act 2, the story and build up. The year was 1984, an era of bold fashion, booming music, and yes, some of the most surprising mint errors the US Mint ever released. The Denver Mint, marked by the small D under Washington's neck, produced millions of quarters that year. But among them, a few were struck with astonishing flaws, slight misalignments, double dies, or planchet errors that turned an everyday coin into a numismatic treasure. Now here's where it gets exciting. Point 1, of these 1984 D quarters was recently appraised and confirmed to have a unique minting anomaly. A microscopic doubling on the "In God We Trust" and an off-center strike so rare, collectors went into a frenzy. Auction houses saw bidding wars break out. Serious collectors, private investors, even museums fighting to get their hands on this single coin. When the hammer finally dropped, the price tag stunned the world. $8.1 million. And yes, that's for a coin that originally cost 25 cents. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, but how do I know if my 1984 D quarter is one of them? Great question, and we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about why people are paying millions for coins like this in the first place. Transition, curiosity, and connection. You see, coin collecting isn't just about metal. It's about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. Every scratch, every mint mark tells a story. Think about it. Coins like this have traveled through thousands of hands, through gas stations, grocery stores, even your childhood piggy bank, and now, they're being rediscovered, one by one, as modern-day treasures. And here's the truth most people never realize. The rare coin market is exploding. Every year, new record-breaking finds are uncovered from everyday circulation, so if you've ever thought, it's just a quarter, think again. Act 3, the payoff, cliffhanger, and call to action. Here's what you need to do right now. Go grab every 1984 D Washington quarter you can find. Check for 3 major signs. The mint mark D under Washington's head, a doubling effect on the words liberty or in God we trust. Any signs of off-center stamping or missing details on the rim. Even a slight variation could mean the difference between 25 cents and a fortune. And here's the kicker, experts believe there may still be less than 10 of these ultra-rare quarters left in circulation. That means right now, someone could be walking around with millions in their pocket and not even know it. Could it be you? Now, imagine finding that coin, the heart-pounding moment you realize the gleam in your hand isn't just silver. It's your ticket to financial freedom. So before you spend another coin, check your change. Your next quarter could be worth $8.1 million. And if you want to learn exactly how to identify high-value coins, subscribe right now, because next we're uncovering another unbelievable discovery. A 1999 Georgia quarter that's quietly selling for over $10 million. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.